From time to time, we hear school officials speaking to the media saying it's all about the kids, or teachers have a really tough job and are undercompensated. Other times we hear we have to be good stewards of the taxpayers' money. In your opinion, which is most important and why?
I'm not sure. Could you read that?
From time to time, we hear school officials speaking to the media saying it's all about the kids, or teachers have a really tough job and are undercompensated. Other times we hear we have to be good stewards of taxpayers' money. In your opinion, which is the most important and why?
That's a real thin line. But actually, with respects, actually teachers in California, their compensation is actually pretty good compared to other states. The only problem right now is with furlough days and how the school calendar has been cut by days, which I would like to see reinstated so that we're back to at least 184 days. But basically taxpayers, schools are funded by the state, and so property taxes don't go except like Measure J and Measure L. That's with that exception. Your taxpayer money is not funded. You know, there's a very small funding mechanism for schools. Now, if you're talking about Measure J and Measure L, there are committees, an oversight committee that makes sure that those funds are being used appropriately and for what was lined out in that Measure J and Measure L. So to answer your question, I think that I don't agree really that teachers are totally underpaid. I don't. Many make very good wages. I don't, you know. But I think we need to be very conscious about the two bonds, Measure J and Measure L. Thank you.
With respect to your question, you're comparing either whether it's all about the kids or good stewards of taxpayers' money, and I don't think they're a conflict. And the reason I say you can do both is this. As a taxpayer, and I hear this from people who sometimes don't have kids in the district, they're like, well, I don't have any children. And I tell them, well, for myself, I'm a taxpayer, a single man, and I'm glad I pay every single penny because this is our future. That's when it's all about the kids. Oh, well, what about the tax money? I mean, we can't keep on paying for all of this. If there's efficiency, you can do both. You can do more, and Val Verde is a perfect example of that. Val Verde has done more with less during the last 3 years. Our test scores are up, we are doing well, our parents are participating more, but we're doing more with less. Literally our ADA, how much we receive per student, has declined during the last 4 years, but our scores are even higher. So there is no conflict. You can do more, and you can't do it with less, and you can be a good steward of taxpayers' money. So there's no respect to the question. I think it's a false dichotomy. I think you can do both. But we definitely need to, again, as a board member, advocate for more funds, because even though you can do more with less, we've cut off a lot. And there are certain things where you do need to fund it more, things that you can't have without more funding. So there are things that we need to advocate as board members for, and I have, and we will continue to in this economy. But you can do both and say, tell the taxpayer, I will make sure that these funds that you receive will have oversight. I will make sure that we have committees, that we ask the questions. As a board member, I will make sure the questions are asked, and I will make sure that if you contact me, I will give you the answers. And if I don't have the answers, I will get the answers for you. And that is how you become a good steward for the taxpayers. And that is also how you have success and make it all about the kids.
it is all about the kids, number one. I'm a proponent, and I encourage people, I'm going to say this, for Prop 30, because it's going to help California with our schools. I guess I have a different outlook when I look at taxes. I look at them as an investment in our future. Because of the economy and what is happening right now with the foreclosures and so on, the funding of the schools comes from, basically, some of it does come from property taxes, but what is happening from the state budget right now is that a thing called deferrals, where they're getting 78 cents to the dollar of what they should be getting for funding right now. Without Measure 30, then it's going to be devastation to more cuts than we've already had. So when I look at it, I think I have to agree with you. There's like, you can do both, but particularly right now, let's be real, the economy is dismal, but there's hope if we can get certain measures in that will help. And yes, it does mean taxes, but again, it's an investment in our future because it's about schools and not about jails.
Yeah. Yeah.
I believe the question was about teacher compensation and also the need for financial stability in a district. If the district cannot survive financially, you cannot pay teachers and you can't educate children. So you have to give a priority to ensuring that what funds are available are spent as efficiently as possible. But as a teacher, I feel I should also address the other side of it, because certainly while our teachers in California have a higher salary than in some other states, the cost of living in California is significantly higher than other states. And as a teacher myself, I taught physics. And most of the time, when I wanted to have a lab, I paid for the lab. I bought the materials and often was very creative in trying to make sure that every student had, first of all, the opportunity to participate, and secondly, enough materials. This is my husband Jim over here, okay, who was often the person who went to get the materials when I needed more during the day. But I don't think it's unusual for teachers in California and many other states to spend a lot of their own funds supporting children. And so, yes, we need more and better and more effective ways to compensate not just teachers, but the staff as a whole, because they are carrying out our most important function. But we have to do that with the funds that we have available.
Question, basically just so I can refresh my memory, we've started from way in there. It's basically children or accountability to our taxpayers, am I right?
Or teachers.
Children, teachers, they're kind of synonymous. They go together. Without that teacher, children don't learn, as she put it. That is so important. But I think Mr. De Leon put it very well. Being on the board, I know that we can do both because we have done both. We have amazing test scores. We have grown and done so well. And it has just been amazing as far as that part. In fact, we are now an 800 district, which is huge. As far as the taxpayers, no, we need to be accountable to them, though. They need to know where that money is. And as Mr. De Leon made that comment, is that, no, there's an open door policy. If we can't give you that information right away, you ask us. We'll go get the answers from somebody that can give us the answers at the district office. And if they can't give us the answers, then we have a problem, you know, and we need to address that. But other than that, no, they go together. They're hand in hand. That is so important. You can't have one without the other.
Next question. The community has a perception that our school district